Don't forget, Njara, you were a journalist. Go back to NADS. When Museveni wanted his brother Salim Saleh to access money of NADS, every day he was abusing NADS. Every day. And then he created illegally and irregularly a unit called Operation Wealth Creation. Then Saleh and soldiers went and took over money of NADS. The first thing that they did when Saleh went there, and I told him, Saleh, when one day he appeared with me on a radio station, was to remove 97 billion to go and buy pickups.
Just 1 second, let's
was illegally created. You see, no, you need to listen. You need to
1 second, you finish
the
that
same way your brother created an illegal outfit in the military called the SFC is the same way your outfit was created. Yes, but because we are powerless, you can continue operating as long as you are in power. The day you lose it, you will account for every single shilling that you have accessed through NADS.
This time, I think you are going to be accountable. Now that Oscar, let me raise another issue.
Yeah.
During an interview, Honorable SSEMUJJU NGANDA came out to accuse General Salim Saleh of swindling NADS money. It was on a talk show where Honorable SSEMUJJU NGANDA accused General Salim Saleh, their brother to the president, of swindling money. I know this is not the first time people are accusing General Salim Saleh of corruption and stealing government funds. In fact, there is also I think in the late 90s, where the executive director of NSSF also accused Salim Saleh of taking savers' money. So when SSEMUJJU NGANDA accused General Salim Saleh of stealing NADS money, Salim Saleh promised to sue Honorable SSEMUJJU NGANDA. In Parliament, Honorable SSEMUJJU NGANDA is among the opposition MPs who has a lot of history, who has a lot of info, basing on his background as a journalist. I keep on telling people that journalists have a lot of information because they access very many people, both literate and illiterate. They do very many interviews. So in the course of doing that, if you're bright, to gather a lot of information. So yesterday, General Salim Saleh came out to promise Honorable SSEMUJJU NGANDA that any time is going to be sued. And I've come to tackle that. The purpose of this video, I've come to give you the odds of General Salim Saleh suing Honorable SSEMUJJU NGANDA, whether it is just political talk, and most importantly, the study materials we can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. And if you're watching this video from a different platform, please head on to YouTube, type in Sula Mawagari. There's a lot of content of this nature. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. So, first of all, General Salim Saleh is a brother to the president. In this government of NRM, we've seen relatives and close friends heading parastatals, heading government institutions. And it gives me a duty of trying to speak to Ugandans that it is not an act of a proper democracy. Because in each and every country where a dictatorship has been entrenched, the leader surrounds himself with family. Case in example in Uganda, Museveni is the president, the son is the commander-in-chief, the brother, operation wealth creation, his sister, Kajubiri, head of public service, Ruabogo, his in-law, heads private something in government. So you see family being surrounded in public services. But that will be the video for another day. During an interview, Honorable SSEMUJJU NGANDA accused Honorable Salim Saleh of stealing NADS money. I think they were talking about elections. They were talking about coffee, and he came out to accuse Honorable Salim Saleh, which I think Honorable Salim Saleh never took in good faith. Before I proceed, I want to play a tape when Honorable SSEMUJJU NGANDA was accusing General Salim Saleh of stealing money. Here is the tape.
Don't forget, Njara, you were a journalist. Go back to NADS. When Museveni wanted his brother Salim Saleh to access money of NADS, every day he was abusing NADS. Every day. And then he created illegally and irregularly a unit called Operation Wealth Creation. Then Saleh and soldiers went and took over money of NADS. The first thing that they did when Saleh went there, and I told him, Saleh, when one day he appeared with me on a radio station, was to remove 97 billion to go and buy pickups. That's the first action of creating wealth. The first action of Saleh in NADS.
Removing from where?
From NADS. NADS had a budget of about 450 billion. So the first thing that Saleh did when he went into NADS was to remove 97 billion to buy pickups for each of these coordinators, the so-called coordinators. So each one had a brand new pickup with the fuel, with the driver, with maintenance, with what. When we are debating budget, people forget, this financial year, we are going to spend 750 billion on transporting people who are using government vehicles. You have about 311 billion for fuel, about 200 for maintenance, and then about another 300 for buying and replacing vehicles.
That is Honorable SSEMUJJU NGANDA. So, Honorable SSEMUJJU, it may have some iota of truth. In fact, I was going to be surprised if General Salim Saleh did not come out to clear the air. Because at least if you've been in Uganda following the politics of our country, you've seen that these people have swindled a lot of money in billions. Okay? Now he adds Operation Wealth Creation. It gets money from the national treasury, which by the way is not oversighted by parliament. General Salim Saleh whips a lot of power to an extent that he summons vice presidents, he summons ministers. It's like the de facto president of the country. Okay? Even when General Mhoz went on the rampage, General Salim Saleh is the one who called on General Mhoz. Okay? So the axis of General Salim Saleh, somewhere its tenacity is so hard, but it's the most peaceful if you compare to other axes. In fact, General Salim Saleh came out to warn Honorable SSEMUJJU NGANDA in a note which is dated 13th November 2024. Honorable Ibrahim Nganda, if you want to know who ate NADS money, please check the NADS suppliers database at PPDA. Stop tarnishing my name, otherwise I'll see you, and signed Akwanda Naho. That was the note which was put out by General Salim Saleh. One may ask, why is he using notes? But it is a genuine signature. First of all, when you use a note, it passes the message. Although if you want to deny it, it's also easier to deny in case the message backfire. So Honorable Salim Saleh is using guerrilla tactics. These are the people who change names. It's called Akandanwaho. In the bush was called Salim Saleh Rufu, which meant death. Okay? So Salim Saleh is threatening Honorable SSEMUJJU NGANDA that he's going to be sued. Okay? Even SSEMUJJU NGANDA came out to reveal that he's not scared, to say that he won't relent, that he has a lot of evidence that Salim Saleh bought pickups. In fact, I was young, by the way, when I wrote that story in the Daily Monitor, where Salim Saleh bought trucks to every person in Operation Wealth Creation. Okay? It's not the first time Honorable SSEMUJJU NGANDA is confronting Honorable Salim Saleh. Even there's a time they had an interview on a radio station, and he told him off on his face that they are stealing Ugandans, that they are mismanaging their country. In fact, that interview is one of the greatest interviews in history. I want to play you a clip from this interview. Yes, the tape.
Just 1 second. Let SSEMUJJU
was illegally created. You see, no, you need to listen. You need
then
to
1
listen.
second. SSEMUJJU finish
The
with that.
same way your brother created an illegal outfit in the military called the SFC is the same way your outfit was created. But because we are powerless, you can continue operating as long as you are in power. The day you lose it, you will account for every single shilling that you have accessed through NADS.
This time, I think you are going to be accountable. Now that Oscar, let me raise another issue.
Yes, you're on microphone.
You know, I have been accused of so many things by SSEMUJJU. I didn't know that I'm going to find him on the capital gang. For instance, Oscar, you know that I'm supposed to be the biggest land grabber in Uganda.
Some people say those
brought
things.
up by SEMUJJU. But do you know the real land grab of Kampala?
Go on, General.
No, do you want to know? Or?
Yes, please.
But I didn't want to get into the. He knows. The SEMUJJU knows because he's their partner. So, but let us go back to the subject.
Yes, sir.
Legality does not arise. Once the president directs that the army does something, we organize and we execute. Whether we shall be executed for that, that is another matter. The most important thing is what we have been able to do.
Finally, comment from SEMUJJU, Honorable SEMUJJU.
I want General Saleh to get off Capital Gang knowing that we see you. This is the only country.
See you for
this
sure.
is the only country where the heads of Operation Wealth Creation and the other heads are the only wealthy people. That's why you keep referring everybody to Nakaseke, where you have a farm. Why don't you refer them to other areas in PG and elsewhere? And then speaking about UPDF, I have heard here from Opono. UPDF bought a farm from Chisos and NEC. That farm had more than 800 heads of cattle. Prosperous farm. Because they want to say UPDF is such a productive military. Today it has zero. The neighbor of the Chisos farm, who is Saleh's brother, who had zero cattle, now has 3,000 heads of cattle. So you can imagine, UPDF 800, now zero. Your brother, the neighbor who had zero, now 3,000. So in Uganda, we are such an interesting country. Heads of operations, heads of wealth, they are the only wealthy people. Sorry, we see you.
For me, I have seen you now on Capital Gang. You are, but I don't want to be as cruel as you. But you know who is the land grab of Kampala at least.
So when we get you on Gang next time, we shall really get that answer out of you, who is the land grab of Kampala. General Saleh, thank you so much for appearing on the Capital Gang. And yes, we must have you more often. At least you've come and talked about it.
That is the interview between SSEMUJJU NGANDA and Honorable Salim Saleh. So you clearly see that Honorable SSEMUJJU NGANDA has been holding the first family to account. Among very many weaknesses SSEMUJJU NGANDA has, the best quality he has is one of the best opposition legislators when you put all matters constant. Okay? So I think he's ready. In fact, today he came out to say that he's not relenting, that he doesn't fear even if General Salim Saleh comes for him. Because normally these people waive death, waive imprisonment as occurred. But I don't think that Honorable Salim Saleh can reach at that level. Is the most, I'm not saying that they're not dictatorship, but that axis is kind of not rogue like others. It's kind of not rogue. And I think he just made this note for political reasons. I don't think that he can come out for someone. In history, I have not seen General Salim Saleh roguely confronting others. At least not very many times. But I've seen other axes doing so, including General Moses Kainerugaba, where he had a feud with Kakwenzaru Kitabasaija. Okay? So the feud of Honorable SSEMUJJU NGANDA and Honorable Salim Saleh, if you put it in context, Honorable SSEMUJJU NGANDA has a point. We are under a family rule which uses our resources as a country, which presides over our affairs. Family. Not even NRM. Because even NRM, they have built parallel structures to counter NRM. Through Adija Namiaru. Adija Namiaru does everything NRM should supposed to do. So it is family rule. Even when they are bringing up options, they don't look at the vice chairperson of NRM. They look at Moses Kainerugaba. They look at Salim Saleh. And there is no country which has ever thrived, if not a kingdom, under family rule. Of course, that's my opinion. Leave me comments by commenting about this. Thank you very much for listening in. If this is your first time on the YouTube channel, I implore you to subscribe, like, and comment so that I can be motivated to do more of such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.